Five Out Basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
And I have one more team that has underperformed, but
Okay.
we're going to transition to a team breakdown as we talk about this team because we have been talking about a lot of playoff contenders on team breakdown, and we haven't planned out next week's episode, but with becoming playoff time, we might be doing a couple more team breakdowns, so we got to focus on some ass. Yeah. Yeah, bring me all that ass for this team breakdown because we are talking about the Brooklyn Nets. They
Garbage.
stink. And where do we even begin? 28-45, 11th in the East, going to be $25.5 million in debt heading into free agency, and they have no draft picks.
Damn.
Yeah, whole lot of ass. I'm not going to lie, Brooklyn Nets, I'm thankful for you guys, though, because as a Chicago Bulls fan, I'd be like, man, I have no hope. And then I look at the Brooklyn Nets and be like, maybe I have a little glimmer of hope because
Yeah.
we may be ass, but you guys are double-cheeked Nicki Minaj level, making Anthony Edwards freak out levels of ass. You're ass. Like you guys are terrible. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know where to start with this team breakdown because it's just terrible. This team
Here.
stinks.
I'll jump in.
We got the numbers man over here.
So before I even get into the numbers, two
Okay.
things I want to say. The Nets are the reason why the Bulls and Hawks even have a chance at being a playing team. Them being that bad is literally why like y'all are still in the conversation. But Bulls fans.
Yeah. Bulls
But
Nation.
stand up. Number two, I don't think there is another team that is in a worse situation than the Brooklyn Nets. And I say this why, right? Yeah, there's teams that are more ass, but they at least have draft picks or young players to look forward to, right? Like the Pistons, they have a young team and they have the draft picks. So at some point they'll turn around. Like they'll be fine. Charlotte, they have a guy to look forward to, even though he's on the court maybe 3 more games than I am, but he's still a really good player. And you have Brandon Miller, like they have young talent to look forward to. Spurs, they have Wemby.
Yeah, like they
come
do
on.
not care about this season.
They don't care, right? Brooklyn, y'all are 11th, so your draft pick would have been like mid anyways. Guess what?
Currently
you don't even
eighth.
have it. But
Yeah.
they don't even have it.
Don't
They
even
don't
have it.
They don't
It's
have
the
their
Houston
picks,
Rockets.
right? They don't have their picks for the foreseeable future at that. They have no real young talent except Cam Thomas, but like what is really his ceiling, right?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I think we've reached Cam Thomas's ceiling already.
Exactly, right? So not a lot of young talent, if any, on this roster with no draft capital. Money is gone. You have no money to spend, really, like damn near no money to spend. And you're mid. You're not even mid. You're ass. Like that's just the worst place to be in. So I'm gonna get into the numbers, the quick two numbers that I always have. They are 21st in offense.
Oh, brother.
And they are 20th in defense.
Oh,
Go
brother.
ahead, Joey.
Yeah, to go along with that for some more specifics, they're 14th in point per games allowed, which isn't terrible, right in the middle of the pack, but then 24th in points per game.
Damn.
There's no offense. Like I saw someone say this online. I wish I could pull the credit because like I don't want to steal it for myself. But watching the Brooklyn Nets play offense is like watching just like not even a good AAU team, just a team playing AAU just trying to have some fun because there is no offensive game plan out there.
No.
It's just literally just go out there and we're just gonna wish for the best. If the shots go in, they do. If
Vibes.
they don't, we lose. Yeah, this is a team running on vibes, and the vibes are ass. Like there is no
Terrible.
scheme at all. They brought in an interim coach with Kevin Ollie. He has not done much better than Vaughn has done.
No.
But then you look at this roster, it's like, what do we want them to do? Because their star player is probably a third player on a championship team in Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
This is the big issue that we're going to talk about a lot in the next team. So I'm just going to say it now. This team knows they're bad, but they refuse to go into a rebuild. Like, absolutely refuse. They had offers of 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and I think a player. And they were offered 2 to 3 first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith, and they said no. So this team could have had, let's say, 8 draft picks and some young players.
Yeah.
And instead, they have this roster which is led by a guy who's going to be he's not even going to be a second player on the championship team. I'm going to keep it real. Mikal Bridges is a third guy at best.
At best. Exactly. At
Mm,
best. Um, with Mikal, I actually am a big Mikal guy. You know, when he went on his run last season, I was like, whoa, Mikal's
mm.
like low key. What did I miss? But even I said moving forward, he can't be your cornerstone. There's no way he's gonna end up because one, I feel like people don't know how old some of these NBA players are. Mikal
Yeah.
Bridges is like what, 28, damn
Hmm.
near. Like he's not some young dude. Like he's in his peak right now. Like he's not gonna get much better. Remember, some people were like, "Yo, Mikal Bridges might be KD with defense." What are you talking about,
Yeah.
buddy?
Uh-huh. That's crazy
um,
talk.
but here's the other thing. You mentioned the trade, and this report came out not too long ago. The Nets were offered Jalen Green and I think
I
four first
saw this.
rounders,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Nah, we'll keep Mikal." Buddy, what are you even with Jalen Green being up and down, you're better off taking that and four first from the
Mhm.
Rockets at that.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe they would have been giving you back your picks,
Hmm. They
right?
definitely would have.
Right? They would have just been like, all right, just take your picks back, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just take your picks, whatever.
Hmm.
And you get to get your picks back and a young player for Mikal. And you said, nah, we want to keep Mikal. And now Mikal's really showing, yo, bro, I'm not no number one. Like, if I'm the
Yeah.
number one, we're gonna be
Right
28 and
here.
45. Like, you know?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. They should have taken those trades, man. That's all I
I
gotta say.
agree. And not only did the Nets do themselves a disservice, they really did Mikal Bridges a disservice because he could be on a serious team right now and he's not. And
Yeah.
his trade stock is not going to be the same heading this offseason. They do want to make a
No,
move. You're not getting
definitely
four or
not.
five first round picks. There's no chance.
No.
So that's been hurt. And
Yeah.
then I look at this roster, and one of the star pieces you can look at, Nick Claxton, is a free agent. Is going to be a free agent this offseason.
Restricted,
I
right?
think it's restricted, but the Nets are already in serious cap hell, and they're not going to
Mm.
contend. They're not going to be able to make big time moves. So who knows if he's on this roster next season?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's gonna be, and he's one of your. I mean, he's relatively young, and he's probably
yeah,
your most valuable young piece, right? I'd
yeah,
say.
probably. I think he's an
Yeah,
underrated player. I think he's a
yeah,
defensive beast, but it's just
yeah, yeah,
when you're
yeah.
with Brooklyn, they don't make it easy for you.
No, and
Yeah,
you bring up defense actually, real quick. I remember people before the season said the Nets could hang their hats on their defense. They're not even good on defense.
they're
Like
average.
they're just not even. They're 20th. Like that's not even average. That's like
That's
literally you're a
below.
below average
Hmm.
defense. Which when I look at the names on the roster, I thought, okay, Finney Smith, Bridges, Cam Johnson, Claxton,
Ben
Ben Simmons.
Simmons.
I didn't want to say it, but Ben Simmons. But like looking at the names, I'm like, yo, this team could legitimately be like a top 15, top 10 defense, give or take.
Hmm.
And that would have probably changed the season around 20th. I didn't see that coming, to be honest.
Not at all, but Ben Simmons' health is that's not even worth talking about. This isn't going to be a dog on Ben Simmons. This is going to be a dog on the Brooklyn Nets because look at the rest of the roster. Dennis Schroeder, or is it Schrader or Schroeder? It's Schroeder, right?
I think it's Schroeder, but
Yeah,
we go to Schrader Hall.
yeah, yeah, it's dumb at IC, but Dennis Schroeder in 2024 starting is laughable. Cam Thomas can get you 2025, but he's going to allow 30 to 100 on a given
Mm,
night.
yeah.
Mikal Bridges, still a good player.
Hmm.
Cam Johnson he's cool.
100 million. 100
Yeah,
million.
yeah. The contract is not cool, which is something we'll get into in maybe a minute. Nick
Yep.
Claxton, who knows if he's here next year. Dorian Finney-Smith should be a role player on a championship contending team. I feel so bad that he's on this team. And
Yeah.
I mean, teams are willing to give up multiple first round picks for him at the trade deadline, which I think says tons. And he would have helped the team make that next step. He's very good.
Yeah.
And Lonnie Walker, Ben Simmons, Dennis Smith Jr. But man, if this is Dennis Smith Jr. coming out of the draft, I thought that dude, if you had the Dennis Smith Jr. and Ben Simmons that I thought they were going to be, the Nets might be a championship contender.
Bro, if you played 2K16 through like 18 or 19 and you had Ben Simmons and Dennis Smith, you were cooking. I promise you,
Yeah.
you were cooking.
Yeah, no, you would have been a special team. But 2024, and here's where we are with this below average ass roster with no cap space. Because you look at some of these contracts, Ben Simmons is making $37 million.
Ooh.
Cam Johnson's bringing in 25. Bridges bringing in 21.7, which is good for a player like him. The
Hmm.
Nicholas Claxton may not even be here. Cap
And
hell.
if they have to pay him, that's $100 million.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another $100 million. And next season, I believe the number's 36 million they'll be in debt. And that's before the
They
Claxton contract. So
Oof.
they're gonna be approaching like the negative 50s and 60s, and they're gonna run back this team.
Nasty. You got to trade some of those
Yeah,
contracts.
yeah.
But guess
That's why I'm
what?
just. They
Can't.
don't want to. They literally
Or they don't
refuse.
want to.
So that's why, like, I'm gonna ask what the Brooklyn Nets should do, but I think we're gonna mutually agree on this. They have to bite the bullet and rebuild. They
Yes.
have no choice. Well, I mean, they
Yeah.
clearly are choosing the other ones. I guess they do have a choice,
Yeah.
but you're never gonna. This team's not even gonna be a playing team. Let's just keep it real. This team will never be a playing
Yeah.
team.
Mm-mm.
And you don't have picks. I know they don't have this year. Do they not have next year as well?
They might not even because remember they made trades with the Rockets. Did they? No, they gave up no picks for Phoenix. To the Warrior? No, they gave up a lot of picks to the Rockets,
Yeah,
though, if I'm not mistaken. So
I
I don't know
believe
off
so.
the top of my head, but I doubt they have some draft capital coming up.
Yeah. So this could be 2 years of no picks. Like, if you don't bite the bullet, you're gonna have to keep running it back with this roster. And at some point, Brooklyn Nets fans, they're not gonna be coming to games, especially with how good the New York Knicks are doing. Then no play, they don't have like a young guy that you can be like, oh, this is the future. Like, people like to say it's Cam Thomas. Can we wake up, please? Like, actually, like, yeah, he can give you a cool 20 to 30. He's gonna allow more points every time. Like, I can confidently say Cam Thomas is the worst perimeter defender, not including like big men, because come, I'm not that bogus. But we're talking guards. Cam Thomas is the worst in the NBA.
So you just mentioned the fans, and the reason why I sit here with the face like this
Uh-huh.
is this deja vu.
Wow.
Who remembers in 2013 when the Nets said, let's trade all our draft capital for KG, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry? They did all of that, suffered through like 3 years of being garbage, and said, all right, guys, we learned from our mistakes. Yo, KD, Kyrie, and Harden, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like, did y'all not see what happened the first time you did that?
And this is
So
sad.
now I guess I'll give them some credit. KD, Harden, and Kyrie, if injuries weren't a thing, probably would have been a championship team, right?
Mm.
But regardless, you've already seen this happen to you. You're telling me you're gonna have to rebuild again? Like, at what point do they look and say, we can't keep doing this, bro? Like, we can't just keep trading all our picks for guys to come here and we don't really get anything out of it. Because when they made the first trade in 2013, what did they do? They got bounced in the
Bounce
second
first
round by
round.
the
I thought it was
first
round.
rounders. No, they beat the Raptors in the first round
Oh,
and then
okay,
lost
yeah.
to the Heat in the second round in 2013. Okay, cool. You go through all that purgatory. Now you're back where you are. You're contending. Oh, KD, Kyrie, James Harden. What did you do? Got bounced in the second round by the Bucks. Next year, you get bounced in the first round by the Celtics. Like, at some point, you can't keep making that mistake, bro. You gotta like just rebuild naturally. Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of these teams have set the blueprint where, yo, you get picks, you get that young guy, work from there. Don't just start trading for a bunch of stars. I get it, you're the Brooklyn market, but for right now, you're Knicks low, bro. And with
Yeah.
the Knicks being good, only makes it even harder. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big gambling guy. I like to play poker, and this is what's funny with the Brooklyn Nets is they start bringing in some chips, like they start bringing in some money. It's like, oh, we got D'Angelo Russell, we got a team that has a lot of fun. And instead of trying to play it smart on the table, not go all in, they put all the chips and say, all right, we're ready to compete, and then they lose the hand, and now it's like we're back to nothing being poverty, and
Literally.
that's what the Brooklyn Nets are. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think they're ever gonna learn. Well, they're about to have like 3-4 years to learn because they're gonna have no choice with this rebuild. Well, let's hope the Nets learn their lesson.
They have to. They literally have to.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey the Master LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.